Trump, we're gonna expand the United States.
I was amazed when the president's speaking a lot when he was on the campaign trail. What do you do? And it drives people crazy, but they just say, new audience, I got to give the same message every single time. And sometimes you carry the message and you go, wow, it's the same speech. Since the president won, he's putting new things into all his remarks, whether it's the Patriot Awards or what we saw yesterday.
We're gonna make Mexico a state.
Staying in front of Charlie Kirk's group.
Yeah. I think part of it is like when you're running for office, you want to be very consistent and tell people this is what I'm going to do.
It's about
now
time.
He's won. It's not like he's making some giant crazy turn here. He's just trying to maybe put some meat on the bones of what the agenda is going to be now that he's got the power soon of governance.
Let's watch a little bit from what he said yesterday. Watch this.
Here we go.
So we got the highest vote ever for a Republican candidate. We won by 36 points with young people. That never happens. A Republican loses by 36 or 40. So I'm going to have to start thinking about TikTok. We did go on.
Four years of this. We're going to have 4 fucking years of this. This is going to be insane. This is amazing. Wow. Is he wrong? No. I think the idea to ban TikTok is totally fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's devoid of all reason and logic, and it's completely unconstitutional. I completely disagree with it. In all ways.
TikTok, and we had a great response with billions of views, billions and billions of views. They brought me a chart, and it was a record, and it was so beautiful to see. And as I looked at it, I said, maybe we got to keep this sucker around a little while, you know. On my first day.
Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. This is... Buy it? Yeah. This is going to be so good, man.
Back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to
did Roy say that? He did.
Close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country. And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, and we will create the new Department of Government Efficiency headed by Elon Musk. And no, they
have to get him to say Doge. We need to get him to call it Doge. Please fucking call it that. If we can get the president to say this shit. Yeah. To the moon. Exactly. There is a good chance that, yeah, Doge, you know what? We haven't been to the moon for a long time. Why don't we go back to the moon again? Why not? Fuck. Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time. We might, yeah, let's go back to the fucking moon.
It's time. I like having smart people. You know, they're on a new kick. Russia, 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 Ukraine, 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 all the different hoaxes. And the new one is President Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No, no, that's not happening. But Elon's done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on? But no, he's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
Oh, there it is. Problem solved.
The Panama Canal? Huh? Because we're being ripped off at the Panama Canal like we're being ripped off everywhere else. When President Jimmy Carter foolishly gave it away.
Yeah. So this is the crazy thing with Trump is that the things that occur to him are things that were on nobody else's radar. We're going to buy Greenland, retake the Panama Canal, make Mexico and Canada states. Oh, and we're going to have a massive nationwide party celebrating 250 years of the country. Nobody is thinking about this shit. Nobody thought about it. Until this.
Gave it away for $1. During his term in office, it was solely for Panama to manage and not for China or any other country to manage. It was given to Panama and to the people of Panama, but it has provisions. You got to treat us fairly, and they haven't treated us fairly. If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America in full, quickly, and without question.
He's not even, guys, it's almost a month until he's even the president. By the way, the Panama is completely fair. I don't know. I mean, like, if we built it and they're, you know, they're disadvantaging us, then yeah, fuck them. I don't, but I'm not like, what the fuck do I know about this? Feels kind of gangstery. Really? So you think that the guy that's worked in New York real estate for 50 years, that's had hundreds of lawsuits of people that have had bad business relationships with him, you think he's operating like a gangster? No way. No way. There's no. There's no shot that would happen.
So those are some of the things I was talking about. So he's talking about an Iron Dome for the country. I want Greenland from Denmark.
Wait, what?
And by the way, I want the Panama Canal. So I asked the brain room about the Panama Canal. They say there's no proof that China owns any portion of it. We use 72% of all traffic is American, and the prices did go up 15%, nearly $5 billion over the last year. But they say it's because of low water levels, and they have to slow down the amount of traffic that goes through. But you know what? Rattle their cage, make them justify it, and let's see if we can get those prices down. After all, we are a frequent customer.
I do think part of this, though, is national security. You think of Greenland, for example.
Man.
The Arctic is a major, I think, battle area for the future in terms of who controls the Arctic. And I think the same applies to the Panama Canal. China may not control it, but they, my understanding is, have some very strategic interests in that area. So part of this, I think, is Trump starting a negotiation with, we want the whole thing back.
Check Twitter. He made a meme about it. No, he did not make a fucking meme about this shit. Let me see if I can find it. No, he didn't. He did. Wait, what's Truth Social? No. Yeah. Welcome to the United States Canal. This is the content president. Oh my God. Oh my fuck. This is amazing. How is this happening? Content farm? Yes. He did one for Canada.
The Panamanians might say, well, hang on.
No, he also, by the way, you bring up a good point. He did do another one for Canada. Where's the Canada one? He's tweeting so much. I can't even fucking find it. It's from what? Yeah, there's so many. That one's gone. How's this amazing? Imagine the becoming Chinese president doing the same thing. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I miss this so much. Yeah, like the foreign policy with he said with North Korea, he just told Kim Jong-un to chill out. Like, oh God.
But let's have this conversation. Trump just announced yesterday his ambassador to Denmark which owns Greenland. Can you imagine having that job now or being the ambassador to Panama? You're going to have a busy opening few weeks here.
I think it's one of the PayPal mafia. It's Ken Howry, ambassador to Denmark. So I think he's probably like, good. I want something
I'm sure
to do.
he put that person there with this exact thing in mind. He posted on True Social. For purposes of national security and freedom through the world, the United States of America feels that the ownership and control of Greenland is an absolute necessity. This is something that he brought.
So for purposes of national security, so we're gonna get okay. All right. So we're at 53 states then. Mexico, Canada, and Greenland.
During his first term in office in Denmark, which, I mean, Greenland's
this is Manifest Destiny 2.
A sovereign nation, but under the
Kingdom of
Denmark's
Panama. Yeah, true.
Authority, I guess.
Sovereignty, they're within that
it's an
kingdom.
Autonomous nation.
Yes.
Anyway, Donald Trump was mocked for saying it, but he clearly has a plan for why he wants to control Greenland or take it under the United States umbrella. And one of the things I'm just pure speculation here is he is talking a lot about how to get criminal illegal immigrants out of our country. And if countries like Venezuela that we don't have relations with won't take them back, maybe he'll build a facility in Greenland and ship them there. That would
Guys, this is fucking oh my god. This is nuts. Wow.
would for sure be a deterrent for people to come to the country if they know that they're going to Greenland.
Very cold.
Yeah.
Put it this way.
They do that
I
in
think
Russia.
my prediction, we get it.
Get it?
I think we get Greenland. My prediction,
it's huge.
What's today? To December 23rd.
Yeah.
December 23rd, 2024, I believe by the end of his term, we'll get Greenland.
Okay, so
because he loves real estate.
Yeah. Mark it down.
Right, and we'll see. And I'll tell you what, I'm wondering what Denmark needs from us.
Or I wonder what Greenland has to say about this. I don't know how they would feel about it.
They do have a government.
A couple fun facts about Greenland. Do you know the population of it? 56,699 people.
It's not a lot.
And that's because 75% of it is covered in a sheet of ice.
That's where we'd put the people. That's where we'd put the criminals. Put them on the ice.
Capital city.
Yeah, it's like two birds with one stone, right? You have like this new place, and then you have a place to put all the people. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would never have picked Nuke.
N-U-U-K, right?
That's right.
Right. So Iceland's nicer than Greenland. And the Vikings are responsible.
Iceland is greener than Greenland.
Which is weird.
Greenland is icier than Iceland.
The way I learned it, and a lot of times things don't come out correct, but I remember people told me that the Vikings looking to throw off visitors would name Iceland, so no one would come, it's nice, and they named Greenland.
I think that's probably true.
Like a psychological thing.
Fran Tarkington?
I don't know whether this is true, but that's what I learned. Yeah.
Somebody.
Get the brain room.
Where's Leif Erikson when you need him?
I know. Or at least,
Vinland Saga.
I bet you there's truth to that. I remember learning that in school.
Right? Those are the types of things that you expect on a news network. I bet you there's some truth to that. Carly definitely trying to back me.
My speculation on why Trump wants Greenland could be totally off.
I wonder what people in Greenland think about this.
As soon as you start saying, like, this might not come out right, but I'm just like holding on to the couch. What's going to happen?
I should save that for radio.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
This is so fucking funny. I think that we are in for probably the most crazy and unpredictable next 4 years that we've had in like my whole life. I think this is going to be a wild fucking ride. We are for sure. Yeah, because like last time Trump was president, he was a bit of a pussy, you know? Like there were a lot of, big things he ended up not doing. This time around, I could just see him saying, fuck it. Yeah, Yeah, too many people blocked him. Yeah, but now there's less people blocking him. Man, want to be everyone's friend? Yeah, I guess so. Wonder what the stock market's doing in relation to this bullshit. My understanding is that it went up. Like, hasn't the stock market been going up with Trump? Like, because people are assuming that Trump is going to do good things. And so, yeah, it has. It's booming. Yeah, I think it's probably not going to go up forever, right? I mean, I think it's all perspective. But yeah, he doesn't have to care about a re-election. Yeah, I know. Having a sea that surrounds Greenland could create a shorter trade route with Europe. The ice melts. Maybe because he knows climate change is real and we have to get ready to go to Greenland when like maybe this is like the 300 IQ play, is that he knows that with all the drilling, we're going to end up raising the temperature of the entire Earth. So we're going to buy Greenland ahead of time so we can take all of the people from Florida and put them over there when all of their stuff goes underwater. I feel like in a way, right? I mean, you could... It's so smart. Yeah, he's thinking, yeah, bro, this is the 4D chess. Oh, God. Is there rare minerals and gold under the ice in Greenland? The trade routes aren't new discussion. It's been going on for a couple of years. Yeah, I guess so. I've never even heard of this shit. Trump wants to submit his legacy bigger than the last 20 presidents. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but it is fucking insane. I'll watch this other one too. People trying to say, like, this is the new, people trying to say that Elon Musk is the president. They try to, like, start trouble. Try to, you know, make drama. This is like, it's funny to see mainstream media and people doing this. Because they're doing the same thing that Twitch viewers do. Where they go into like, oh, did you see what he said about you? Oh, he said you weren't so good. He said you fell off. It's the exact same thing.
President-elect Donald Trump making his first public remarks in Phoenix since nearly sending the government
President
into
Musk.
a shutdown. Earlier today, Trump spoke about several hot-button issues, including taking back the Panama Canal, renaming America's tallest mountain, and his border and immigration.
Renaming America's tallest mountain? I'm telling you, man, like, this guy is thinking on another level. It's a whole... He thinking about shit people never even thought about. People, what are they going to name it to? Yeah.
Policy plans
it's a good
that
question.
Would start on his first day back in office.
Yeah.
On my first day back in the Oval Office, I will sign a historic slate of executive orders to close our border to illegal aliens and stop the invasion of our country.
Oh.
And on that same day, we will begin the largest deportation operation in American history, larger even than that of President Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Oh.
The incoming president also giving his take on his relationship with Elon Musk.
Oh, here we go.
Addressed a persistent talking point among Democrats that Musk is acting and will act as a shadow president.
I think it's so fucking funny. Yeah, there we go.
The new one is President
yeah.
Trump has ceded the presidency to Elon Musk. No.
He's a rogue? Yeah.
That's
the shadow president. This is the shadow president,
Elon's
guys.
done an amazing job. Isn't it nice to have smart people that we can rely on?
I think that it's really bright. I want to change it. I think that the entire argument of like Elon Musk being a shadow president, I don't think it really works very well because a lot of people view like Biden's presidency as being a shadow presidency also. So like, I don't really see people like taking this seriously on like a mass scale because I think that people have that same perception about Biden now. So it's like, okay, well, it wasn't a problem then, but it is now. Like people, and this is the reason is that, I've said this before, right? Like an average people like really hate hypocrisy because hypocrisy is an insult to the person who you're trying to get to convince, right? Because you're saying like, I'm going to lie in your face and you're too stupid to realize it. And that's why people get so offended and angry about like hypocrisy. And so I think that's the reason why people are not going to take this seriously or care about it. They're attempting to gaslight Trump to drive a wedge with Musk. It's super obvious. Yeah, it's amazingly obvious.
He's not going to be president, that I can tell you. And I'm safe. You know why? He can't be. He wasn't born in this country.
For more, we're joined by Democratic strategist Julie Rodzinski and Katie Frost, Republican strategist and former executive director for the Georgia Freedom Caucus. Good to see both of you. I do want to get to immigration.
It's actually rattled, the little laugh. I think he's trying to make it like it's funny, and I do think that it probably does annoy Trump a little bit. Like, I think it probably does, but I don't think it's going to affect anything.
Just a moment, but let's start there where the president-elect kind of dropped off, talking about Elon Musk. Katie, I just want to get your reaction to his take there on what's being said about Musk.
Well, it's great to see both you ladies again. You know, this is, of course, the latest talking point we're seeing coming out of the Democratic Party, which is highly ironic, considering the Wall Street Journal report that dropped this week talking about how President Biden has been
How about that? How about that? Of course. Of course. It's not pre-watched. It's common sense. Anybody... you think I'm a fucking wizard? No. It's obvious.
Struggling to do the job since very early in his presidency. So apparently now it's a point of concern for Democrats, the idea that there might be someone other than the elected president trying to call shots, when that's exactly what's been happening for the last 4 years. I would love to know who's been the shadow president of our country for the last 4 years.
And Julie, I just want to get your thoughts on it as well.
Well, it sounds like this is getting a little bit to Trump, right? Anybody who decides to elevate themselves to even pretend to be on par with Trump, Trump eventually gets rid of. And so I don't give this bromance much time. Katie, the difference is Elon Musk, who's not elected to anything, who's not appointed to anything through a confirmation process, is basically calling the shots and was calling the shots last week. He came out first to scuttle this bipartisan deal that led to a tremendous amount of chaos. And you have the Speaker of the House himself acknowledging that he was continuously talking to Elon Musk throughout this whole process. Who is Elon Musk but an unelected billionaire who has his own interests with this budget, and who obviously, as a result of those interests, decided to scuttle a deal that would somehow, shock of all shocks, impact his business in China, among other things. And so, look, this is Trump reminding...
I think that type of argumentation just doesn't work anymore. I don't. The reason why is that I think that if you ask an average person, is the country owned by billionaires? Most people would say yes. So them crying foul when Elon Musk is one of those billionaires that's owning the country, I don't really see that you can, like, you can't say that all these billionaires are bad and it's an oligarchy when you had total media control for like over 10 years, really. You had total web control between like Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, and the people that run Google, and all of them. You can't go and say, oh, well, now it's an oligarchy. I don't see average people. I don't see average people buying that. Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah, I don't think that this is a good narrative to push. It's the pot calling the kettle black. Yeah, exactly. The only bad billionaires are the other side's billionaires. Well, what I'm saying is like that's the reason why I don't think people are going to buy into it. But Elon Musk directly benefits from Trump politics. Well, the other billionaires directly benefited from the other countries' like companies' politics. Like, what do you mean? Like, do you think they're giving them money to cause them to lose? Like, of course not.
People and reminding Musk, I think, that he's paying attention.
Yeah.
So very clearly this is getting to Trump, and I'm glad. I'm going to sit back, as I keep saying, and drink my martini and watch this chaos unfold.
Somebody says, well, what you're saying isn't true. Most people don't know how tech and social media works. Jack Dorsey and Zuckerberg never did this. See, I disagree with you. I think that average people do think that it's rigged. I do. I actually think that they do believe that it's rigged. And I think that COVID is the best litmus test for that. And I think that the amount of trust that was eroded with the way that COVID was handled, especially with the companies acting hand in hand with the government, I think that that made people infinitely more distrustful. And now I think it is an average perception that people have. Facebook on COVID era, yeah, I really do. I think that if you didn't have COVID, I think your point would be valid. But I think that COVID radicalized way more people than you might imagine. I think it actually like dramatically changed the entire window and what like people see the government in. Damn right it did. Yeah, it really did.
Because this is what the Republicans asked for and they're getting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, Katie, I am curious what you think about...
Sorry, I keep pausing. People keep making comments that I want to respond to. People weren't allowed to spread misinformation during a pandemic, endangering the lives of millions of people. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And people viewed the monopoly that the government had on information as unfair and suppressive and censorial, and it caused them to distrust the government. Yeah, you mean we didn't have free speech? Yeah, exactly. People care more about free speech than they do about disinformation or misinformation. That's just the truth. I think that if you look at an average population, or at least like the average American population, I think that's the truth.
Asked for and they're getting it.
Yeah, I guess, Katie, I am curious what you think about Julie's point there, that Trump felt the need to talk about this. I mean, he's known for paying attention about what's
he obviously knows that people are talking about it. Of course they do.
Being said, he watches news, he reads, he's paying attention to kind of what's out there in the ether, and clearly this was something he felt like he needed to address.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he knows we're talking about it here. It's clearly become a talking point that the Democrats are trying to push. So he's preemptively going to address it.
Yeah,
That's the exact same thing Speaker Johnson did with his gaggle with reporters after the bill was passed in Congress. This is something people are asking questions, so they're going to preemptively answer that. But I will go back to, Julie said that no one elected Elon Musk. No one elected the White House staff that have been running the show while President Biden has been asleep at the wheel, essentially, for the last 4 years.
She's saying the exact same thing. Yes, this is exactly what I said. 100% this is what it's going to be. That's exactly how people feel about it.
So, I mean, you can talk about now apparently the influence of billionaires is a concern. It isn't a concern when George Soros puts a lot of money into electing people all across the country. It isn't a concern when Mark Zuckerberg wanted to get involved in elections. It wasn't a concern when Jack Dorsey owned Twitter. Apparently now that it's X and somebody Elon Musk, it is a concern. So there's definitely seems to be a double standard at play here.
Yeah.
The next time, Katie, the next time that George Soros or Mark Zuckerberg or Jack Dorsey picks up the phone and tanks a bipartisan negotiated bill, you let me know. That's never happened. George Soros has never, to my knowledge, picked up the phone and called then Speaker Nancy Pelosi and said,
to my knowledge. Yeah, I think that's probably true. I think she probably doesn't know that they do that. I think that the best indicator of the fact that these people are bought and paid for is the advocacy of banning TikTok. I think that if you look at a lot of the people that are advocating banning TikTok and you see who's giving them money, I bet a lot of them have either financially benefited from, or they have had some form of interaction with the American social media companies. I don't think that they're trying to ban TikTok because they have a problem with China. I don't think they're trying to ban TikTok because they're worried about the kids. I think they're trying to ban TikTok because it clears the board of a competitor for the companies that are giving them money. That's the real reason.
this is what you have to
do.
Common
Common sense.
Nobody's even alleged that he's done that. This is quite different. This is an unelected billionaire who is literally calling the shots and telling Republicans what they're going to vote for and what they're not going to vote for. And they acquiesce. They actually acquiesce to him. And so that's the part to me that makes no sense. Nobody elected Elon Musk. He came out first, tanked this bill, then Trump belatedly jumped in as a Me Too kind of, I also agree with this. But this was Elon Musk's mess that he made. And that's something that the Speaker of the House acknowledged. You have members of Congress literally acknowledging they're consulting with Elon Musk before making decisions. That's nothing that we've ever seen before, at least in my lifetime.
Well, I think one person's called.
Go ahead.
I'll say one person's calling the shots is another person's call to action. You know, Elon Musk put out the word and the people responded and melted the phone lines. And look, if Taylor Swift.
It's actually a very good point. Is that Elon Musk doesn't have any power. It's people that are listening to Elon Musk. And I think the threat of getting people out of office is only as strong as the people's vote for them is. So if people didn't agree with this happening, and also like these people had no problem wielding celebrity influence like a weapon when they had Taylor Swift and Beyonce endorsing Kamala Harris. And there was even reports and like, you know, I don't think there was anything confirmed, right? But I know people that did get paid to promote Kamala Harris. How is it's just not there, man. I don't think that anybody is going to take this seriously. Taylor Swift is not changing policy. Taylor Swift by the nature of her endorsing a candidate is her attempting to change policy. She even explicitly said that it was because of reproductive rights. That is her attempt. She is trying to change policy by doing that. That's why she's doing it. It's not even a question.
Had put out a tweet, and the Swifties had melted the Capitol switchboard, which they crashed Ticketmaster. I have no doubt that the Swifties could crash the Capitol switchboard.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't be having the same kind of conversation. We'd be like, look at democracy in action. Look, people are motivated. This is exciting. So I would say it's not Elon Musk. And it's not even what he's doing. It's the results people don't like. They didn't like that a, quote, bipartisan bill. That was
they don't like that they won, that it worked. That's the problem, is that they did it and it worked. That's why they're mad.
Really just a giveaway. When Santa Claus had come to Washington and everybody was getting what they wanted, that got tanked, and that's what people are upset about.
Yep.
It is interesting, though.
When you let me know when Taylor Swift does that, Katie. You let me know when Taylor Swift decides a call to action about specific legislation, that we could have that conversation.
She did. She did with the reproductive rights and with Roe versus Wade. She literally did. It's the same thing. Like, I don't view this as and I understand that it is slightly different. I don't respect that difference or care about it enough to view one as bad and the other one as good. I think that your opinion about one has to be the same about both of them. There's not really a distinction in my mind that makes one like logically different than the other. It's the same substance. Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Elon Musk has jumped on phone calls with foreign leaders as well, which is interesting. And I would like to talk more about that, but unfortunately, we are out of time. Julie Rodzinski and Katie Frost, we appreciate both of you. Thanks so much.
Yep, there it is.
I was amazed.
And what's this? Both these girls have some bitch face? Oh, Jesus Christ. Why? I don't know what it is about people on like Twitch chat that always feel like compelled to make comments about people's appearance. But you guys got to stop doing that. And if you make comments like that and you say weird stuff, there's a very high chance that you'll get permabanned because it's weird. And one was voicing their opinion as a citizen and the other one's directly consulting with the authorities. I don't care about that because the effect is the same. So if somebody can wield their influence in order to change policy, the method of doing so is less relevant to me. Like from a functional level, I don't view this as a massive moral difference. She has influence? Yeah, exactly. And so it's not. And again, you can draw these like, technicalities and like, oh, well, technically it's not really like that. And, well, actually it's like, well, if you look at the law and I don't care about any of that. When I see a bunch of celebrities getting together to push one person, to push a policy, that to me is logically the same as one person trying to push a policy themselves. It is. The semantics don't matter to me. The effect does. And I think the effect is the same. Yeah, who told our PR team to say it? Yeah, that's basically it. And how much influence do you think half $1 trillion worth person has versus a celebrity? Well, apparently a lot. Yeah, a lot more. It worked. That's it. The implication that rich people weren't having private conversations to shape policy, and Elon Musk is the only person. Yeah. And I think this is the reason why a lot of people aren't buying into it. It's what this guy's saying right here. The implication that rich people weren't having private conversations to shape policy, and Elon Musk is somehow the only person to do this, is insulting to everyone's intelligence. That's exactly right. And I think that's why this type of argumentation, can you show proof of this? In some cases you can, in some you can't. I think that there are a lot of like things that happen. Like, for example, like somebody leaves office and then they get an appointment with a company that they were favorable towards or something like that. And also, just because something doesn't have, like, there's not like a video evidence of it happening, doesn't mean that it's not obviously happening. I mean, you can't see this many points on a line, or sorry, this many points on a graph, and then not be able to draw a line. I'm sorry, but it's just, it's just very fucking obvious that this is happening. Bill Gates, yeah, the proof is the existence of lobbies. Yeah, I think that's another good way of looking at it too. But yeah, I think it's going to continue happening, and overall, FDA is a good example. Oh, I don't know about the FDA. I'm not sure about that. But I think that in a lot of cases that definitely happens. Yeah, for sure. And so just let billionaires control the government because they were already doing it? Like, what are you saying? I'm confused. Well, what I'm saying is that I'm not going to view it as a unique evil. And if you want to get rid of billionaires controlling the government, then use the language of billionaires and not Elon Musk. That's the difference. So, like, I agree with you. I think that that is really bad. But it seems like this is a one-sided perspective. And so if there wasn't, then I would probably have a more open viewpoint for it. But I think the truth is that it's one-dimensional and it's based off of power and not principle. And I think that average people can see that, and that's why they're distrustful of the media in the first place. And I'm sorry. A lot of people might be unhappy that I'm saying this. You don't have to get mad at me. They're the ones that are doing it. All I'm doing is explaining it. Like, yeah, that's it. Like, I'm just explaining what's happening.